Vegas Programmers presents Demo Time. We've got 3 exciting demos for you folks lined up. First we have Car Del Master. Sergey here is going to be speaking about in the truck industry, basically scratching his own itch of an app that he wanted to build. We also have the return of Bike On, which they presented, 6 months ago or something like this. Unfortunately, I think the recording got jacked up on that one. The audio or something didn't work out. So this time it will work because we've got awesome Ryan here helping us with the recording this time. And then the third we'll have Saferide.ai. So kind of neat. It just kind of worked out that way that all of these, we'll say transportation industry kind of startups came here and want to discuss what they built. So super excited to dive into it. A couple of things before we get started here. Obviously, shout out to Tech Alley, Josh, and all the organizers who put this event on. Without them, we wouldn't have this space. We wouldn't have the ability to network and get together like this. So this is awesome. Thanks to them. Thanks to the Vegas Theater Company for hosting us. We do have a kind of small, minor technical situation with the projector here where there might be a little bit of things cut off, but hopefully everybody can see it fine. And then the last thing is if you have a demo or you have a little pet project you would like to present in February, we do have spots open for the next demo time. I've got my card up here, or you can go on phpvegas.com and fill out the form there. With what your demo contains and all that great stuff, and we'll get you locked in for February. So without further ado, we'll bring up Sergey and we'll get going on Car Del Masters.
My name is Sergey Guziev and I'm a truck driver right now. So why I came to this industry? Because I had an idea of developing an app for truck drivers, and I decided to prove my concept myself. What do you know? What do you know about this industry? There are more than 4 million people working every day on the roads, and I think that they're terribly underserved. There are millions of apps which were built for dispatch, truck owners, car companies, and so on, for logistic companies, but there is no one app for everyday trucker's life. This is what we built. And what we do, we work as a truck drivers every day, and we translate our understanding of this industry to our app. And I want to present what we found. So what we built, Car Del, in future, I will tell you, we are decided to move this startup step by step, but I will tell you first about big picture, and then I will tell you what we already done. So Car Del in future is an app. It's like a dashboard of your Mercedes-Benz, where all my life collected in one place. So food, insurance, earns, and so on is in one place. It will simplify my life because right now it's everywhere. So what is Car Del for drivers? So first of all, what will make people to use our app is additional income streams. And I will tell you later how it works. So very important for me and for everyone to understand where are you right now. And Car Del gives a vision of how much money you earn immediately. It's very important because you understand if you must do any additional efforts. So my gross is the main digit for the whole industry. Money I did during this week, everybody will work with this. My owner, truck owner, company, dispatch, they all are connected to my gross, weekly gross. And this, for truck owners, they can use it and then calculate their income immediately. The same for clients. There are a lot of people between me and client when I deliver cargo. It's dispatch, truck owner, company, broker, and somebody else, but always the client contact with me directly. And what is the most common question they ask me? What is your estimated time of arriving? And we will talk about it later. So it's a wonderful app for truck drivers for clients also. Let's imagine a big picture, what we can build in future. So food services. We know where truck drivers are right now, and we know where they will have a rest, so we can deliver food for them using our app. Insurance. 2 million people, truck drivers, work in a big company, and this company gives a lot of social things to truck drivers, but 2 million people still work in a small company, and nobody cares about me as a person, what will happen with me. So my company do not care about me, so I must think about myself, and our app will give better insurance for everyday life. It's medical insurance, life insurance, and so on, because this very dangerous job. Rewards. We have a reward system in our app, and it will help people to earn, I don't want to say how much money, but a lot of money using our app. So fuel card, you know, there are millions of fuel cards, and they are all not connected. We can unite them all in our app in future, and it will automatically calculate expenses in our app. You know everybody about logbook, and you know that sometimes, you don't know maybe, sometimes a logbook is a system where, which control your time on the road, but who cares if people works with it correctly or not? For example, I am sure that this truck driver works only for 11 hours as it must be, or he changed something on this app. It happens sometimes. Our app will not allow it. So market information. There are a lot of marketplace, but for example, if something happens with me on the road, if I need somebody's help and I want to pay for it, what will I do? I don't have access to another drivers. Marketplace in our app will help you to create an order online and find the best vendor to do it, you know. And also we can use this marketplace to sell goods which are good for truck drivers. Co-insurance. Our goal is not to let people, if they earn using our app, if they have money in our app, our goal is not to let them take this money away from our app. So we create as additional T-coin, so it will be published on blockchain also, and we can play with it. And if people can use this income, they can save this money on our app also. Road assistance, if something will happen, sometimes nobody cares about me. Road assistance will help me to decide my questions. Just a second. What we do right now, we did 50%. So we built right now 2 users, customer and customer and the driver. And what we do right now, very simple device to which will give driver to earn opportunity to earn additionally starting from 800 money per month. It's a tips bagger. I call it tips bagger. So when you come to the restaurant, you pay for the meal and you pay to the waiter. When I deliver you cargo, you pay only for the meal. You think that I'm is the same person, but truck driver is not a restaurant. Truck driver is an employee, and our app will ask for tips for this truck driver, and it will work. You know, I use it every day, and it gives me opportunity to earn additionally starting from 800 per month. Another thing, our app using API, and it can be connected to different other services. For example, right now we are talking with Tracker Pass, and maybe we can use Google, and we can answer the question to the customer, where are you right now? You don't know anything about the person who delivers your cargo. It does not matter what are you doing. It's moving or it's delivering of your car, and if you trust me your car, and it costs about $250,000, what do you know about me? Will I be very careful with your car? You don't know anything. This system will help you to understand who is this guy on another side. So here we can see rate, here we can see reviews, and here we can also tip driver. And this is how our calculator works. So we can add expenses, we can add income. Right now, we must do it manually. But I told you that the growth is the most important thing. And in future, it will all be automatically. Driver will look every moment and will see where he is right now. And for example, if I earn not enough this week, I can do additional efforts to earn more money. About money in this app, it's very important. Different things, subscription model. Okay, if I get 800 per month, will I be ready to pay $10 per subscription? Yes. If I have 800 per month additionally, will I pay for 10% for transaction to get this money to pay for different services? Yes. For example, if we add any vendor to our app, and when a truck driver is near tire service which connected to our app, will this tire service pay for advertising in our app? Yes. In future, we are talking about big picture. Just a second. We can unions are not allowed in this industry, but Cardel will help us to support each other. It can be a kind of online union on Cardel, and people would pay union fees. And sales of associated goods. For example, I came to the cosmetic producer factory and asked them, do you need 4 million additional customers? Do you know how much shampoo costs on the gas station, like Love's or Pilot? And if you can deliver them directly and earn additional income, would you be ready? And this factory say, yes, we are ready to be with you. The same with food. We are talking with Territory Foods. We are talking with different suppliers, and we understand that all would like to get these people on board. What we did, why I came here. So we already finishing our MVP, and we have 2 users there. We have 3 functions. We have 1 payment scenario, and we are looking for additional opportunities, and we are looking for investors. And what it will give us, so we can add the accept driver and customer, we can add dispatch, truck owner, company, and the broker. And we can create a payment scenario for all of them. So it's like a accounting service, online accounting service for them. They will realize immediately how much they will bring home this weekend. And we will add additional functionality on the next level. What this will allow us, if we will create this product for one industry, it's a car delivery. In future, we can add other industries, you know, like semi-trucks, like platforms, like oil transporting, and so on. There are all the same, but only the different scenarios of payment. Sometimes they pay 30%, sometimes they pay per mile, and so on. What we do right now, we created MVP, and we are testing it with about 50 drivers. So already they add their income to our app, and we see how much money they earn immediately. For example, before I come here, I have a rest right now. So how it works, sorry for small picture. Here I see my gross, here I see my income, and I can understand how much money I will bring to my family. This is the most important, why I go to work. If you have any question, I'm ready to answer, please. Thank you, man. And you know, I spent in the car more than 12 months already, and it's very unusual to see real people in front of me.
Do you have any questions from the audience? I have one.
Yes, please, ma'am.
Why are you so passionate about bringing this to life and scaling this?
Again?
Why are you so passionate about bringing this to life and scaling this vision?
Just imagine. Sometimes they say that 4 million of truck drivers in the United States. Sometimes they say 15 million of truck drivers in the United States. Nobody cares about these people, I'm quite sure. Why? Some of them work in a big company, and some of them have life insurance and different social opportunities for their life. But mostly they work in a small company, up to 50 trucks. And what do they have? Who cares about them? This idea came to me because, you know, suddenly on the road I realized that if something will happen, with me if I die. Nobody cares about my family. Nobody cares about me. They just find another, maybe, it's not a secret, I'm an immigrant, yes? They will find someone like me and continue to work. So that's our app allows to manage your life, you know? For example, right now I pay myself for insurance somewhere, right? For life insurance, for medical insurance. I pay taxes. I pay, and sometimes they send me statements. When my companies, they send me statements 3 weeks after I did my job. So for 3 weeks, I don't understand how much money will I bring to my family. And there are millions of people like me. So if you see this problem, I'm not trying to create something new. I found the hole in industry and I'm trying to decide this problem. This is why I'm so passionate about this. And I know it will work because, you know, what is $5 for truck driver? It's a meal. If you give tips, please give tips to truck drivers. If you give tips $5 only, it's a meal. He will go and eat. It's not because nobody cares about it. When you order delivery and it costs 1,000, 2,000, it doesn't matter that this guy who came to you, you don't know anything about him. He went through snow, through ice to get to you in time. And this is what we do on our app. It will allow truck drivers to earn additional income. And you don't know what can I do also for you. For example, I can park your car, I can wash, I can do something. You don't know anything about it. That's what I'm doing it.
We have time for 2 or 3 more questions. Does anyone else have
Please, sir.
Sorry, this is an awesome company. Thank you for talking to us about it.
Thank you.
Right now, in your trucking business, how many different pieces of software and tools do you have to use
Millions,
in your day-to-day life?
millions, you know. It's millions of apps, you know, but they, for example, only dispatch app, I have about 20 on my phone. And dispatch will send me order in one, then he send me, please install Tesla, please install another thing for Ford, for Mercedes, but it's not about me. It's about business. I mean, it's about logistic, but this is about me, truck driver. It's about me. That's why I think it will be useful, you know. And also there are millions of calculators and millions of for truck company, each truck company, you know, and each logistic company built their own app, and they're trying to, but no one built an app for the truck driver. Yes?
What I love about an all-in-one app is how powerful it can be. It sounds like you have the opportunity to make people more revenue and save them time. Are
Yes.
you measuring how much more revenue and how much time people are saving?
It's a good question. I tried to calculate, we tried to build a financial model, not for people, but for ourselves. And we realized, you know, that if we will stay on these 2 simple tools, doing nothing, in 5 years, we will have annual income about 6 million. You know, but what does it mean? I told you it will be $10 subscription and 10%. If we will have 6 million, it means that people would earn additionally how many? $54 million per year, you know, our subscribers. So this is the minimum model, but we are not doing it. We are trying to create an Uber for truck industry, and we are trying to build it from down to up, you know, not like, I did not realize, that's why I went to truck industry, to understand how it works, because I'm just a regular office employee. I'm a businessman. I did a lot of projects. I did million of business, but right now, only right now, I know anything. When you see this fat, I get additional about 50 pounds during this year. You know, when you see this fat guy on the gas station, you have to understand that he is working hard, you know, and we are like a pirate. We are like a pirate in the sea, you know, and when I drive at 2 a.m. in the morning and I see a big semi-truck near me, I understand that he is working hard. This is a very cool guy, and it's a very great community. If something will happen on the road, everybody will stop and help you. It's awesome.
If you can close with how this community can help you, what you're looking for right now.
Guys, I will tell you the truth. I just moved into Las Vegas. We came from Florida. Why I'm here? Because my wife is pregnant and we will have a baby soon. And this month I'm going to spend working on this because mostly I have to drive. So if you have any ideas how can be useful, I will be happy to talk with you because we will build it all the way. We already done an MVP already. So if you have any ideas, you can connect me with the right people. You can be an investor. You see as a developer, a sales guy. We are open right now. What I forgot to write my contacts here. So I will ask Joshua to send, maybe it's online, if to people how.
Yeah. So
if you could just find him afterwards, will you be here for the rest of the session?
Yes.
Please connect with all of our presenters afterwards if you'd like to chat further.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
How can people get a hold of you, though? I'll grab your contact information and put it on the meetup.com, so we'll have it there. But if somebody wants to get a hold of you, do you have like email or website or anything like this?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I'll grab your contact info and feel free to connect with me as well afterwards if you guys want to connect.
Cool. We'll update it on the meetup details then. Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let me get the thing.
Please.
All right, next up, we have Shoshonic with Bike On. So he will? Okay. They came a while ago to present their prototype. It's a very interesting concept about an attachment to your bike to basically turn it into an electric bike, turn any bike into an electric bike, which I was just talking to somebody yesterday. They bought, I don't know, what was it, like $4,000 or $5,000 bike for mountain biking. It has this electric stuff built in, and I'm like, there's no way I can afford that. But I'm excited to see where they've gotten with their prototype and how far things have come along. So thanks again for coming back. Yes.
Thanks, Josh. Thank you very much. My name is Aram, and Shoshonic is my co-founder. I am the engineer and inventor behind this product. She does all the rest. So we have been developing this product for the last, I believe, 6 years. For the sake of change, it's not an app, or not only the app, but it's a physical product as well. So this is the device. It's called Bike On. It's very easy to install on any bicycle. You just open it up. We have a video on our website. I didn't want it to put in the presentation to make it short. If you're interested, you can go to our website, bikeon.com. It's very easy. It doesn't take long, about 30 seconds. It doesn't require any tools, any skills. You just put it on your regular bicycle. It converts it into a smart e-bike. And that was the idea, because I needed a product like this. You know, I was riding to my office back in San Jose. It was pretty short ride, but sometimes I needed some help. And I thought it would be cool to have something like this. And of course, I can make it in a couple of months. You know, it turned out that it's much more complicated. It took 6 years to get to this point where we are. And it says Connected Fitness Revolution. Why? Because we already started the sales. We have customers, and people come to us and ask for those features. So we see that we are going in that direction, and I will tell you a little bit about that as well. So what is Bike On? As I said, it transforms any bicycle into a smart e-bike. It has a lot of sensors inside. It has accelerometer, it has a gyroscope, it has what's called torque sensor. It basically feels how much power you use and how much power the motor uses to assist you. And therefore, it can tell a lot of data. It can show a lot of data about your muscle tone, about the terrain, how you ride, how you perform. And therefore, it can provide advanced performance analytics. We are working on connecting health tracker like Apple Watch or any other health tracker, and combining all that data, you could get complete picture of your performance. That's not enough, because we have this assist. We can actually make a special training program for you tailored to your needs, to your level, and the device can actually help you execute the program. So that's why we're talking about personalized training programs. If any of you knows, if any of you know companies like Training Peaks or some others, these are companies who provide coaches or training assistants to people, and that's the thought which we have behind this product. It's just whatever I said. You can think about it if you think in terms of category. It's like a Peloton for outdoor cycling, and we add to that the social tracking of Endomonde. I don't know if anybody heard about that social network. It was pretty long time ago. So that's the vision which we have right now. This is just a picture which shows the device. Here you can see the device. It sits on the rear wheel. It has, as I said, it has the motor. This is the battery right here. It's shaped as a water bottle. You just put it in your water bottle holder, and that's all what it is. So one of the, it's funny because we actually started the sales in August this year. Last year, yeah. I need to switch it. But in August, it took us a little bit of time to acquire the first customers. But then what we noticed that actually a lot of our first users, these are people who were hesitant to use their bicycle, So we shipped the product, and then I was getting those emails. I started riding almost every day, and it's important. And most of our users, these are people in 45, 50 plus, 60-year-olds, 65-year-olds, retired athletes. And we understood that actually this device is not only the device for transportation. People started using them for just outdoors for cycling. It was one of the things which we noticed. Because Bicon is so user-friendly, you can put it on any bicycle without any tools. That turns the entire experience into the seamless, very easy-to-use experience with our device. I will say a couple of things on. We have a new product we are working on. There are more than 2 billion bicycles in the world currently. So there are also people who would love to use their bicycle for exercise, for more active lifestyle, but they are hesitant because they think it's too hard. I'm not ready for that. And we see this product as a helper. You put it on your bicycle, it makes it easy for you, and that's how you start. Talking about market, some pretty big numbers here. We're talking about almost $65 billion in a bicycle market, almost $100 billion in fitness market. So we're talking about intersection of several very big markets, and those markets are growing because there is a growing population of elderly people as well who are interested in products like this. As I mentioned, and you can see as well, it's pretty unique technology. It's very easy to use, and that sets us apart from all the competition. And also the data portion is very important for our users, and therefore we're continuously developing it. Revenue streams, as I mentioned, our first revenue stream is the sales of the product, which we started just recently. You can go to our website, you can see the price, you can purchase the product. We're in the shipping mode. But besides, we do have very basic app, but we are working on expanding the capabilities of the app. And so it will be the app subscription. We're thinking about paid, private, and AI-driven programs for fitness. And so that's kind of the roadmap of where we are going. As I mentioned before, we bootstrapped the company We invested over 500K of our personal funds into the development. We have the basic app, we have the product, we have the sales. We have very good numbers. We sell with profit. So we are building a company which is going to make money. That's the core of the things. The next product I wanted to mention, because we see our customers, they are so much interested in the data, in the insights about their health and performance on a bicycle. We are working right now on a small, tiny sensor, which is very inexpensive, very cheap. You can put it on your bicycle and it will provide you with the same high quality data. We're thinking at the moment that it's going to be very cheap, about $25, or we will be giving it away for the app subscription. And that's the way we see how we are going to expand the social network, or we are going to build a social network behind this hardware product. So we are talking with different funds, different investors. We're looking to raise about $2.1 million. Some of that is going to go into the tooling design and mass production, because currently, even though we have very good profit margin, these are basically one-offs. It's not mass production. We don't have yet the tooling, so we are looking to invest into tooling to slam down the cost and make even more money. We're looking for investment to start building those social network components of the business. These are the big goals. I think, yeah, we have a plan. We think we're pretty sure that we are going to make over $100 million at the end of year 5, but we are profitable even now with those initial sales. And so just a recap of why it is best time to invest in us, because if anybody has ever done a hardware product, it knows how hard it is. So we are past that stage. We invested, we worked, we know how to make it, we know how to make it happen, we know how to produce it, we know how to manufacture. We have the supply chain established already. We have number of patents, issued patents and pending patents. We are actively expanding our patent portfolio as well. And most importantly, we sell. We make money even now. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. As you can feel, I wasn't prepared. This morning I was told I'm going to present the product. But if you know anybody who invests in our category, in fitness, in health, or anything, and you can introduce us, it would be great. It will be appreciated.
Also, we're looking for distribution. So if you or anybody you know have a bicycle store who might be potentially interested in carrying our product, also let us know. And if you're interested to buy Bicon, you're welcome to our website. And since by the way, since we are based in Vegas, you can try it before buying. Because with other nationwide sales, unfortunately, people can't try it, but you can. So
just let us know. Thank you very much.
Definitely find me later. I think I have a few people that help you. Can you give a little bit of detail about the patents that you have? Do you have the utility patent? Do you have any competition that you're aware of in the space as well?
Yeah, so the question, what kind of patents do we have, and about the competition, right? So we have patents on the device, what you see in my hand right now.
Utility patent?
No, full-blown, utility patent, yeah. That includes the controls, that includes the algorithms of operation behind. We have pending patents on a future version of the device as well. As far as the competition, yes, there is a competition. It's pretty healthy situation there. For example, there is a British company called Scarper. They make similar device. The only problem is you have to modify your bicycle. You have to change your rear wheel, and then you will have some attachable motor there. With our technology, you don't need to do that. Just recently, I think they raised over $10 million.
So basically, our competitors are divided on 3 categories. First category is e-bikes, which is basically a category of itself, and like if you buy an e-bike, you can't have a regular bike. So the second category is, like Aram said, those hub drives that you are put on the rear of your bicycle, and you have to modify your bike. All our competitors, you have to modify, your bike loses warranty, and that's the situation. And the third category are friction drive devices. They're easy to put on a bike, but they work in a way that the device actually wraps the tire and helps by friction. So they are inefficient, they don't work well in water and mud, you wear out the tire. So as during the presentation, what's unique about BikeOne is that it's the only device that takes seconds to install, and it's not friction drive, and it's able to gather a lot of data because there are a lot of sensors inside.
Yeah, so if I could suggest only one thing about the presentation, bring a bike with you, show what the installation looks like, and then talk about that. That's
Thank you.
We have time for a couple more questions. One over there. Any others? Let's start over here.
So right now you guys only sell direct to consumer. You haven't opened up sales channels yet. And you mentioned, so correct. And then you mentioned 40% margin on the direct consumer sales. I understand the way that you're manufacturing these right now is not through a tool process, but while it's a 40% margin and you could push it higher in the tool process, would there be anything stopping you from making 1,000 of these if you had an order for that?
No, no problem at all. But usually when you are in mass production mode, it's a totally different process, usually much cheaper, quicker, you have all the procedures in place, and that's what I meant to say. These are one-offs because we don't have yet those procedures. So
That makes sense. You guys are in a great position. Get some salespeople and get some growth. You'll find investors really fast that way.
thank you.
What's your use of funds for the 2.1 million raising?
So part of that goes to expanding our software team. Part of that goes into manufacturing engineering. We're going to hire a manufacturing engineer on our side, and we will start working with contract manufacturers on the other side. Tooling, obviously, we need to pay for all the tooling, all the preparation for mass production, and marketing funds, obviously. Yeah.
If I can ask one more, since you guys are post-revenue and already in market, what advice can you give to people who are going to go through the challenges of taking their product to market? What can we learn from your experiences?
Well, it's a good question which I asked myself almost every day. What I learned yesterday, but maybe we're a little bit different because it's a hardware product with software component. But for us, one of the biggest thing is to be concentrated on what we do. Our world is very noisy. There are many ideas. People come to us and give us many great suggestions, many great ideas about the product. I'm talking about our users. And I, as an engineer and R&D person, I have the urge to jump on it and start. It doesn't work that way. We have the goal. We need to perform. We need to deliver on it. Then the time will come.
And prioritize on different things that you want to do in your app or in your product, because a lot of apps like your app, it has a lot of features. So choose the features you concentrate. Do one at a time. Don't try to do everything at once.
So.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was awesome. I have a feeling I'm going to see you guys on Shark Tank in like 6 months, and Mark Cuban's going to be like throwing you offers.
We hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious,
Thank you.
how much does the product cost right now?
So it's not a cheap product.
Uh-huh.
It's not meant to be cheap at the moment. Right now, we advertise the price on our website for $15.99.
Okay.
If you check out, you can get some 5% off. But Sometimes we run promotions.
Yeah.
Right now we have this promo going on. You pay $99. We ship you the bike on just for trial, and then you either return it if you don't like it, or you pay full price and you keep it. So yeah, it's not cheap, but nonetheless,
Sure.
we have users, happy customers, and
One thing you may want to consider too is like Afterpay or one of these where they pay $249 a month, right? And they have it for 12 months or something. That could make it a lot more.
Integrated in our store.
Oh, okay, cool.
Possible to do.
Yeah. That would make it a lot more palatable.
The vision is to have a final product, which will cost about $300. It will be sold in Walmart, and it's going to be a no-brainer. Even if you don't have a bicycle and you're not a bicycle person, who knows? You just purchase it,
Yeah.
get it, and that's
Yeah.
where we are going.
I would suggest reaching out to that Trek bicycle shop here in town. They have a few stores, and I guarantee you they'd love this product. They sell high-end stuff, so that would probably be right up their alley. So yeah, I'll send you their details.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was awesome. I love seeing, we get a lot of software ideas, but seeing hardware products, I can only imagine the grueling process it took to get to this final stage, and what a wonderful product. So the final presentation we have for today is Saferide.ai. We have Will, who will be talking about that. And I have a couple of things I want to announce here at the end, but I'll save that for here in a sec. So next up, after this meetup, we're going to have about 15 minutes for you folks to network with the founders here. So if there's any questions that you wanted to ask, but maybe not in a public setting or whatever, or you just thought about it after the fact, feel free to approach them here, and we'll have some time for networking here at the end. Following this meetup, we have Vegas programmers. I'll be presenting a talk about building automated pipelines and things like that. More developer focused, but if you're in the software space, maybe that might be interesting to you. So without further ado, if you just want to clip on that bad boy there.
No problem. Like that. All right. Thank you to everyone for coming. Both the companies you saw so far are awesome. So if you know anyone that is relevant to them, you should definitely introduce them. Both very cool products, both very cool companies. Saferide. We're making cars not crash, because that's the problem. The problem is not that cars need to drive themselves. People can drive cars pretty good overall. The problem is that from time to time they crash. And that is the issue, because that's when people die and get injured. And it happens a lot. It's 45,000 deaths a year, one every 11 minutes. And you can avoid them with mostly open source software and a couple of cameras. So this is our first prototype from 2022. So this is a certain model of a smartphone with a little couple of IR cameras pointing forward. Our goals with this product are to make it so that if something comes out in front of you while you're traveling down the road, it will apply the brakes immediately. It's called automatic emergency braking. It's a feature in new cars that you have to pay several $1,000s for. This is our goal with this prototype, and we achieved a circumstance where through interaction with the vehicle's CAN bus, we can, upon seeing something you should stop for, like a child or another car, apply the brakes such that you don't hit it. We got stereo cameras so we can tell how far away you are, and that's what this prototype was for. From here, we sort of chopped it down a little bit further. The platform, first prototype, smartphone, heating issues, blah, 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 BS things that didn't really matter. We chopped it down and made it so that we can run it with a single camera and Ubuntu open source software sort of like operating system, making it a little bit easier for us. The core of what Saferide develops is not the hardware package. It is the driving model and CAN bus interface. So you'll see a couple of different versions of the hardware here. We have made these configurations for the purposes of prototyping, and when the time comes for us to sell these to customers, there will be an interface that comes with these for vehicles, but there will be a lot of other companies already in the space making compatible hardware that you can buy and load our software onto. So this is the third prototype. It's a one-to-one clone of open source, well, previously closed source hardware, about to be open source hardware that we've worked on for the last year or so. And again, it's same situation. What we're doing is that we are looking at the road and saying, based on the GPS and GNSS data, we know what road you're on and what lane you're in. And based, what's up?
What's GNS?
Oh, GNSS, no worries. It's basically think about it like an additional dimension to GPS. Like if GPS was previously going down to like a couple of meters, with the addition of GNSS, you get a higher resolution. You can go down to a couple of inches. So yeah, essentially, what's in this box is stereo cameras, GNSS, GPS, 4G, LTE connections, so that we can push, updates and good stuff like that. And it's running the Saferide model, which drives and monitors the driver. Our goal is not to make self-driving cars. We are not making something that will take you from point A to point B. We are making something that you can have in any vehicle built since 2000, and it will make it so that you avoid 80% of incidences where you would have previously hit something, and it will bring adaptive cruise, enabling you to maintain position from any other vehicle in lane, and it will bring lane centering. The result of this is a situation where there are two modes of use. The first is a passive mode of use where you're just driving along, and in the event that something happens unexpectedly, it will automatically apply the brakes. It doesn't beep and tell you to apply the brakes, it just does it. The second, and that happens totally passively, right? There's no interaction with the user. The second mode of use is to enable the hands-free cruise, which is the combination of the adaptive and the lane centering. And that, you just press the same button on your steering wheel that used to turn on cruise control, except now it turns on Saferide. We don't turn, we don't change lanes. We stop at stop signs, yield signs, red lights, and anything else like a person or a child. So think about it like this. We're not making self-driving cars. We're making it so cars are like trains. They follow the lines that every other car has traveled down the road, and they stop at the times when people would normally stop. Sorry. Used to having a clicker. So the key is that none of these technologies knew. We didn't invent any of this stuff. Luckily, we didn't have to. Lots of people did that work before us, and the big problem and the reason why a lot of this technology is so expensive historically and so difficult to implement is because of the final goal of full self-driving. It's one of these things where if you chop down the productization issue to making them not crash, you can achieve a 90% successful solution with like $150 of interface hardware. So it's already legal. Interesting tidbit for everyone. I learned this while researching a couple of years ago. When you make something for cars and you want to say it's safe, you can just do that. You don't have to get clearance from any government body. There's no test to pass. There's nothing. You just say, here's this, it's safe. And then if you start killing people, they start having problems with your thing, then the NHTSA can come and investigate you. That's how the process works, because American regulators are about making auto company graphs go up. But the good news is that means that Saferide is already legal, and the good news is that we've already trained the model on over 2 million miles of road testing, and we've done about 10,000 miles of our own road testing over the course of the last couple of years. It's working out pretty good, and the DOT has been very positive in our conversations with them. All of the materials from them over the course of the last couple of years are basically just hammering the point that every vehicle with automatic emergency braking has 80% less accidents than every vehicle without it, and automakers need to put it in new vehicles as soon as possible. This is their requirement for new vehicles, because in America we can't mandate old vehicles because that would make automakers' graphs go down. It would be very costly for them. In Russia, they don't have the same requirements. So in Russia, automatic emergency braking has been mandated since 2014. And where our road deaths and their road deaths were pretty comparable in 2012 at around 35,000 a year, our road deaths are now at 45,000 a year, and Russia's are down at like 12,000 a year. Okay, how do we solve this problem on a large scale, right? Are we going to sell these to drivers? Are we going to sell these to insurance companies? Are we going to sell these to dealers? The answer is we sell them to dealers, because 40 million plus used vehicles change hands every year through dealers. So the scenario works like this. You've been driving your 2008 Prius. The rear axle is now cracked. It's no longer feasible to repair it economically. You go into the dealership and you say, okay, here's my trade-in. And they say, all right, so you got $10,000 to buy a car. We want to give you the best deal we can. Here's the 2014 Prius that you wanted, and here's for $11,000 the Saferide 2014 Prius. What's that? Oh, well, it's the same thing. It's exactly the same car, except for $1,000 more financed on your auto loan, you get automatic emergency braking, so it's not going to crash with you and your kids in it, and you get basically Tesla Autopilot in the sense of hands-free cruise. You get the ability to press the cruise and take your hands, feel the pedals, and just let it go, and it'll keep you where you want to be as long as you want to go that direction. The markup that we expect dealers to make is going to be about 10% of the sale price of the vehicle. So on a $10,000 used car, we're talking about $11,000 now. $30,000 used car, we're talking about like $3,000 increase. We're already compatible with over 250 million vehicles on the road. We've reverse engineered the CAN bus systems for all these makes and models, which is a great time. If any of you guys are reverse engineers, you'll know how much fun that was. And now we can partner with folks like AutoNation and CarMax in order to get this technology into the national used fleet. Instead of waiting 20 years for all the new cars to replace all the old cars, the 45,000 people a year dying in cars. So business model, we talked about selling to dealers, and we talked about the markup the dealers are going to have. So our BOM cost is around 150 bucks. We can make this thing for 150 bucks, shipped to your door. We sell to dealers for 500 bucks, and the dealer installs it in the vehicle, marks up however much they can reasonably get. Dealers don't have a way to increase margin on used vehicles. They make about $500 per every single used vehicle sale. That's why they're so desperate to try and get you to buy their ceramic coating or whatever else thing they can throw on there, because they don't make much margin. Dealer buys it for 500 bucks, equips it to a $10,000 car. They now make $1,000 on the sale. Congratulations, they just doubled their profit on every single vehicle they sell with the device equipped, assuming they're all $10,000. If we go up to the 30,000, multiple times that. The final piece of our business model is driver monitoring data. So all the large insurance companies, Progressive, Allstate, Geico, all these guys, they have driver monitoring programs currently. And they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars a year marketing these programs on television and other places, trying desperately to get people to sign up for them. Because getting that driver monitoring data in exchange for about $50 a month off your premium is the current edge in the industry, and insurance-wise. That's where they're figuring out who to charge and how it's going to work. It's a complicated process. You got to call them. They got to send you a thing. You got to put it in your car. It's a whole back and forth. That's why they're going to spend so much money marketing it to get anyone to sign up, even though it's a huge financial incentive. So if you're driving a car with Saferide equipped, you have the ability to, with one click, opt into your insurance provider's driver monitoring program, and in doing so, get the ability to have about $35 a month off of your insurance premium. So not too bad. Instead of giving the driver 50 bucks off, they give the driver 35 and they give us 15. So where we are today, 200 million vehicles, already compatible. Models driven aways, road testing is done, production in September. First 5,000 units delivered to dealers November this year. Got the co-founders, one of our key advisors. We got a team of about 6 people who've been collaborating with us on this over the course of the last year or so. They joined and been working with different folks around the world. Manufacturing is in Korea. Developers are mostly in Europe and here. Let me show you a couple videos. Sorry, any questions while we're digging up the videos?
One here, and then there.
Yeah, please.
I understand right now you're selling to dealers.
Correct.
If I wanted to retrofit one myself, how would I be able to install it myself? Or is it a little more complicated than that right now?
You can install it yourself at home, absolutely. Actually, I just left it in my backpack. I can show you guys the interface hardware. It's literally just a little box you plug into the back of your steering column. So it's pretty simple to install yourself. But there just isn't a business case to make to sell direct to consumer. Dealers see so many cars move through their doors every month. It's just such a pain. My old business was selling hardware to consumers, and we got it up to about 100 mil a year in sales. But man, it's a slog when you have to sell every single thing. Yeah, this is the box that plugs into the back of your steering column. Every automaker has a slightly different shaped plug, but they all have the same pins. So glad to show this to anybody that wants to. But let me see. So sorry, the short answer to your question is you could install it, but we won't sell it to you. Who had the other question?
Does adaptive cruise control work now? So if you install it, you can have adaptive cruise control immediately at that point?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I mean, that's what people would pay for, I would think, because adaptive cruise control cannot be retro installed, and it's expensive, and it's hard to find a used car with adaptive cruise control. People generally won't pay for safety features, which is of course why, like you said, it's mandated by the government in some places. That's how you have to do it.
You got to bundle the safety with the convenience to sell it here.
Cruise control is a big deal, and if you could retrofit existing cars, I mean, I had a hard time finding a car.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, I want this for my car so I can have that.
Adaptive cruise control, yeah.
No problem. Just trade it into a dealer, buy a different car.
Well,
Same model, no big deal.
Even if the car you want, it's hard to find one with a used car with cruise control. It's tough.
Oh no, I totally understand. I was just joking that in the world that you can go to the dealership and they can sell you one that has this. You have to trade in your car to get one that has it. But
If you're lucky enough to find the model you want with adaptive cruise
Oh, totally right.
Now, also another question, what about security? How do you make sure that, like, you know, with any of these automated car features, you gotta worry that someone on the internet's gonna stop your car for you?
Yeah, I know, absolutely. There are a few different layers of controls that you basically set up. There's certain things that you allow external communication for updates. There's certain things that you sort of block off and gate separately. Like there's a reason to have OTA updates for some aspects of like interface and convenience features, and like hardware only, like plug it into the special box updates for control systems. So it's basically like there's certain parts that you can access remotely and certain parts that you can't.
One more last quick question.
Yeah, sure.
How do you tell whether they're in the lane? This kind of, does there have to be lane markers or?
No, so we do not use lane markers. We use the average GPS and GNSS position of every vehicle that has ever driven down that lane in that road. So we don't look at the lines to decide where the lane is. We look at your position on the map and we're like, well, they're in a lane on a road. They probably want to go the same direction as every other person that ever went in this lane on this road. So, well, that's why you still got to pay attention. That's why we're not self-driving. It's a level 2 assistance system, folks. This is not autonomous vehicles. No, well, not the product that we will sell. There are members in our development community who have hacked it onto manual transmission cars, but it's kind of a messed up driving situation if the machine is managing the speed and you're managing the stick. It can be done. Yeah, no, so the short version is that like for an expert user, they could, but that's not how this is designed. That developer, for the record, installed this on a 1972 Volkswagen Vanagon. He had to install a couple of extra pieces of hardware like power steering to make it work. But anyway, just to give an idea of how flexible these systems are.
Okay. Well, super quick, 1, 2, 3.
You said this was open source. Is it all of it open source, like to the point this can be built on someone can do this on their own from hardware and software? And where can the code be found?
So the exact feature set of Saferide and our productization is not yet open source. It will be in the future. Right now, the open source driving model that we were able to use for about like 30% of the basis of what we did is called OpenPilot. And that currently you can just go to OpenPilot. I think they have like a .github.com domain and you can download it and play around with it yourself. Lots of different ways to chop it up and do different things. It's developed by a group whose goal is full self-driving. And so there's directions they're taking it and places they're going with it. And I wish them the very best of luck, but I'll just take the basis of it and build this and make it available later. Also, the hardware will be open source too, once we finalize its development and finalize our distribution partnerships.
There's no timeline on that yet.
Probably like 8 months. Cool. Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, it's like, as a business, this is like really a partnerships and productization type of thing. So like the core technology doesn't matter. I can give away the core technology. That's totally cool. Everyone can have that. There's no reason for you not to be able to like put some stuff in your car to make it stop and make it safer. Like if you've got the technical means capability to do that, like I want to make that as easy as possible in an open source way. I just don't want to run the business of selling that to consumers. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious for noteworthy bugs. So how did you overcome them?
So, I mean, the biggest problems, honestly, in development, because all the big blocks of this were kind of solved, not for us, but like 80% solved for us before. So like the fundamentals of a driving model and like how to like know and understand the tolerances in a wheel, like that was built in that 30% of OpenPilot that we're able to leverage, right? So luckily for us, much of the sort of foundational stuff was resolved in that way. The biggest bugs and challenges that we ran into are interface with the CAN bus, right? So like the reason why this isn't broadly available currently is because every single car manufacturer, they use a unified system called CAN bus through which their information passes. But the commands and how those commands are structured are decided by the engineers that made the ECU on the 2001 Ford Sabre or whatever, right? And so as a result, you've got to dig in and find and make sure, okay, like, is the function to accelerate the same on all years of the Ford Sabre? Or did they like change its name halfway through the model run for no reason?
So the issues were with the models that we were specifically.
Yeah, basically it's like we found ourselves in a position where our initial assumptions around like, first it was like, oh, of course, all Ford ECUs and CAN buses will be approximately the same in this section. Why wouldn't they standardize this piece across? No. Turns out every car is developed by a pretty much separate team, and they write their own things. And so as a result, the car families are good. Thankfully for us, there's only like 50 car families that really matter if you want to get 200 million vehicles. Like Ford F-150s are like 13 million cars a year. It's crazy. But yeah, so sorry, that's the big issue. It's the compatibility.
Question here.
So how does it work in different weather conditions, night?
Absolutely. So because we're using GPS and GNSS data to maintain lane position, we don't rely on the ability to see lane lines or any optical circumstances. So we can, in a total like whiteout blizzard, keep you in lane on the road that you're in based on the GPS GNSS data. The distance verification gets a little tricky with just the stereo camera setup in the event that there's too much weather. That's why in the final production version, we've got a couple little point and shoot lasers that just bounce. This isn't LiDAR, these are not expensive sensors, it's like $4. And they just bounce back. So they verify the stereo camera approximation of distance with an absolute knowledge of distance.
I'm going to close this out with 2 questions. The first one is, what can people in the audience do to help you?
So if you know anyone who works with dealer networks, is a GM at a dealership, or even just sells cars, we'd love to talk to them, get their email. They're the people that we care about talking to. It's a good time. Also, we'll probably raise some money in the future. We've been extended sufficient credit to run our production and ship our units and do our sales without it, so it's not a huge priority, but to the degree that capital is of interest, glad to have a conversation.
My last question is a weird one. Will, I've met you before. You've come so far. This is my first time seeing a full pitch, and it's really, really powerful. Way more powerful than just interacting with you like, in passing. In particular, the videos were really powerful. Do you mind if I give you some feedback here live so everyone else can learn from it? Because I think you've done a really good job.
Sure.
This is going to be really, really specific content, so translating it to something that makes sense for your own businesses might be funky. But the first thing that I did is I Googled what's the average cost of a car.
Right.
And actually the average cost of a used car for some reason is $35K, which means that 10% of that is actually $3,500, and the dealer is making 7x their cost if they're able to sell it on the average car. Even if you do a reach back for a car that is 10 years old, that's ranging from around 9K to 19K. I think some of those numbers make your pitch really powerful. I would love to see that. So I love data. I think data
absolutely.
is really helpful for that. Some of the things you didn't touch on, because I think they're not worth bragging about yet. They're part of what you're considering, but they're not part of what you've closed. Distribution partners you already have. Who shoulders liability for performance if anything comes up? Insurance premium discount already being confirmed with insurance partners. I would have loved to hear you talk about your background selling direct to consumer to the tune of 100 million. Adds a lot of credibility. Also saying because you have that experience, you won't do direct to consumer makes us want your product even more. And I actually really love you saying that you're going to open source the software and hardware later on because you want people who are able to leverage that to go ahead and do that. That's not the point of your product right now. It actually makes it very clear that the real value of your product is for people who don't have that knowledge. Just pay the money for someone who knows it to go install it for you.
Yeah, well, it's just like add an extra $20 to your car payment every month and don't crash anymore.
So, question for you. How long did it take you to get here?
Man, 18 months probably. 18 months is the right way to say that, yeah.
That's crazy. Awesome.
Yeah, it takes a while. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have the microphone, Will? Still
I do.
attached to you?
Sorry.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. That was awesome. Where can we check out? We didn't check out the YouTube video, but Will, is there a way we can like search that YouTube video that you were gonna pull up?
No, that's on YouTube. That's just on my computer.
Oh, okay. All right.
Go to Saferide.ai and send me your email, or you can send it to Will at Saferide.ai, or my car is parked across the street, and I'm glad to show anyone that wants to. The situation, you can get it.
That's awesome.
Stop sign.
Have you
Yeah.
been using it yourself in your own car?
Yeah, that's.
For how long?
The first code I pushed to a box and put in my car and had it drive down the road was like January of 22.
Wow. And you're still alive.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Indeed.
That's awesome. Sweet. All right. Well, that closes us out. So thanks again to Ryan for recording this. This will be put up on YouTube. I'll send it to the presenters here once we get that up and uploaded to YouTube on Tech Alley's YouTube. Any of the past events you can check out there, because Ryan is pretty religious about being like, give me the information, I'm going to upload it today, sort of thing. So shout out to him for staying on top of that. Thanks, Sammy, for obviously helping co-organize this. Again, if you know other founders, other demos, we have a bunch of spots available for next month, so we're looking to fill those up. So grab one of my cards, reach out to Sammy here, or just go on phpvegas.com and fill out the form there, and we'll get you set up with a demo spot. So that's it. Thanks for coming out.